All right, guys, welcome in to the Key of Gadsden Rainbow City Coach Ali Smith Show, brought to you by our friends at Alley's Carpet. We're here with Gadsden City Head Coach Ali Smith. Coach Smith coming off a tough loss in the region opener against Oak Mountain last week. Talk about their offense, man. Talk about some of the difficulties you guys faced trying to stop that triple option.
Man, I'll tell you that's an offense where you have to be really disciplined, really sound. And obviously we wasn't very disciplined or sound of what we were trying to do. The players actually played really hard, but we just wasn't disciplined and taking and executing our assignments. Football, and they're reading. They're reading the inside. If you jump to the fullback, they're gonna pull it. Quarterback's gonna run it. If you don't take the quarterback, he'll keep going with it. If you take him, he'll pitch it. And so you gotta make sure you got somebody on dive, quarterback, and pitch all night. And we did not do that. We just didn't execute.
Yeah, that's one thing I can say. I noticed one thing about this team, that they played to the final horn.
Yes,
they didn't give up, and I know that's something you're proud of, and that's something you've been preaching and stressing since day one.
Yes, I definitely. We don't get any more victories, but our kids did play hard. Offensively, our guys did an excellent job, but they started pressing Oak Mountain, not to take anything away from them, but they didn't stop our offense. Our offense stopped themselves. We fumbled the ball, we threw off a tip ball, they got an interception. We got some turnover on downs and different things like that. But our offense moved the ball pretty good. We was kind of satisfied with them in a way.
Yeah, I mean, take away those fumbles and the interception. I mean, you got a shootout, because I was standing and talking to Teddy Couch from the Gadsden Times on the sideline, and he was like, "I think we're headed towards a shootout." I was like, "That's what it's looking like."
Yes.
and I told Teddy, I said, if we get into a shootout, I don't think Oak Mountain will be able to keep up with Gadsden City, mainly because of the conditioning you guys went through this summer. Talk about that some.
Yeah, we feel we're really proud of the way our conditioning. Our trainers, our athletic trainers, and a year ago we met with Corey over at Dr. Sparks, and Tyler and Dave, and our equipment. Our trainers are athletic. Even met a little bit with Dr. Sparks, Derek, on that, and they've done a great job for us and helping develop our kids. And we followed that program, and man, we feel, knock on wood, pray to God, it's kept a lot of guys healthy and in pretty good shape.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Talking to some of the guys, off the field and whatnot. That's one of the things they have stressed big time was the condition, and they seem excited about it. They's like, you ask them how things are going, the first thing they say, condition is a lot better.
Yes, sir.
All right, kind of get back on the game a little bit. Let's talk about some of the positives, other than your offense, that you did see from the guys Friday night.
Well, again, I talked about they played hard. They did not stop. We was asking a few guys to play a few different positions. We had to bring DeMarcus over. DeMarcus probably played more snaps on defense than we wanted him to. He played about 45 snaps, but that was a positive for us in that regard. But we had a few one D lineman that started that was out. We had some young guys that stepped up, and they played pretty decent, and we feel like we can build on that going into as we get deeper into the season.
Good deal. One person I noticed that kind of stood out, and he's been kind of coming along through these first couple of games, was Ratavius Hicks.
Yes.
He had a huge game, and I was lucky enough to be standing right there at the sideline when he ran for that 55-yard touchdown. Let's talk about Ratavius and some of the things and how he's developed over the summer through these first couple of games.
We've always felt that Ratavius could be a big-time player for us, and he's got a lot of talent, and he's a winner, and he works hard, and he's one of those kids that'll play hard. So, we've had to keep him focused, and right now he is focused, and as long as he stays focused and he understands his role and he plays it very well, he's going to be really good for us. He's a good player for us.
He is. He seems like a natural athlete. I've seen him on the basketball court and now on the football field this year. He's really stood out big time on the field this year.
Yes, we're excited about him going forward.
You got a huge region. Well, every game in 7A Region 3 is a huge game, but you got a game against Hoover this week. Gadsden City and Hoover Titans hadn't had that much luck against Hoover in the recent years. Talk about some of the things you've seen from them on film on the offensive side.
Well, offensively, they're very sound in what they do. They have 3 really good running backs. They have a really good tight end. They have 2 really speedy outside receivers that can stretch and push push your vertical and stuff like that. So you got to be really sound. Got a humongous offensive line, and our kids understand that, and they, and as what we see, we just can't eliminate the big play. We can't give up the big play.
Yeah, that's when with them they can. Yeah, if you don't stop the big play with them, it can get out of hand easily. And same question on the defensive side of the ball. Some of the things you've seen from them.
Well, they got a lot of speed. They may not be as big as what they've been in the past defensively, but they have a lot of speed, and that's one of the things that jumped off that tape. They're really speedy over there, and they really get after the ball. The one thing that we stressed to our kids though all week that in the years past, they may have been a lot bigger than us, but when we have speed and we feel like the size, I think we can match up with them size wise, and we got players, and we want our kids to play the players and not the name. If they could play the players and the team, not the name and what those teams, because every year there's a different team, there's different people, and so let's find out what's under the hood of this team and not because of what's happened in the past.
Right, yes. Right. I agree with you. A lot of people see that name, and I had a little small rant on about the way they did the polls, because I think a lot of these sports writers they see the names of these teams and not what they're doing on the field.
Yes.
So that's a different conversation, different day. Talking about Hoover, Gadsden City still hasn't got that first win over Hoover. How big would it be for not just the team but the program overall to get that first win?
Well, in that terms, I think if we as Gadsden City trying to develop and build a program and not just have a team, those things are coming. We have, I say it all the time, we have players. Those are things that we have to learn how, and as we build to build our program, like games that we're supposed to win, we're supposed to win them. And then games that, those 50-50 games that we need to compete in them at a heavyweight, in a heavyweight contest. And then let's see where it falls out and not give them away by making mental errors and different things like that. And every time we played the Hoover, we've been right there toe-to-toe battling in a heavyweight sense, but we'll make some type of mistake that ends up just crushing the momentum or something in the wrong time. And that's what we got to get over that hump, And again, not take anything away from Old Mountain. As we're trying to build our program back to how we were in the earlier years, we tell our kids those are games that you're absolutely supposed to win, and that we have to learn how to prepare for them. Right. And this week, I think our kids have prepared and they understand the challenge that's ahead of them.
Good deal. Speaking on Oak Mountain, that was some of the things we had discussed kind of off camera. That was a game that you definitely have to win in this region. Being in 7A Region 3, you really got to be on point every single week. There's not a week off.
I spoke to a few coaching buddies from some more schools in this region, and on Saturday morning, that's the first thing. Like, your kids will learn real quick. There's no down weeks in this region over here. And if you're trying to develop a program and you're trying to win an attitude, we got to tell our kids and celebrate them on Fridays, but then on Saturday morning and Sunday, we got to start back getting ready for the next opponent that's over with. And I try to stress to our kids that, hey, you're only as good as your last play. And so we have to move on. We had won 2 games that we supposed to have won, and we won them in convincing fashion. And our kids played exceptionally well, and they were exceptionally focused. And we can't lose focus. We got to stay focused throughout the week for preparation. We got to watch film like we were doing, and just stay vigilant on what we're doing. And I think we'll be all right. We got some really good players, and I think they're excited about getting back out on the football field.
Yeah, I'm excited about this team. A lot of people in the city seem to be excited about this team. Before we wrap up, is there anything you want to say to Gadsden City and the city of Gadsden?
No, well, the biggest thing is stay vigilant, stay loyal to the kids as a whole, and support your guys and through good and bad times. And man, the kids are ultimately they are the football team. It's not about me. It's not about any of the adults around. It's about the children, and let's stay stay as one. Tightens up.
All right, Coach. We appreciate you, and we'll see you guys here next Thursday at the Kia store of Gadsden and Rainbow City. And this show is brought to you by Allie's Carpet.